The wind was screaming through the cabin when my mother leaned close enough for me to smell her perfume. Old roses, expensive, calm. "Nobody will find you at 30,000 feet, she whispered. The door was open, not cracked, open, a black mouth chewing at the sky. My daughter's fingers were buried in my collar, her small body shaking like a trapped bird. 4 years old, too young to understand betrayal, old enough to feel fear. My wife laughed behind us, not loud, not hysterical, controlled, amused. "Fall like the trash you are." I didn't scream. I didn't beg. My hands tightened around my daughter, instinct and calculation merging into one clean thought. So this is how they planned to end it. I looked at my wife then. Really looked. Her eyes weren't wild. They were relieved. Like a debt was finally being paid. The push came hard. The sky swallowed us. 6 weeks earlier, I had noticed the silence. Not the comfortable kind, the kind that waits. My wife stopped touching me when she thought I wasn't looking. My mother stopped asking about my work. Her parents, owners of the jet, owners of everything, started smiling too much. Something had shifted. It began with a phone call meant for someone else. I heard my wife's voice through a half-closed door, low and precise. "He doesn't suspect a thing." No panic, no guilt, just timing. I didn't confront her. I never do things blind. I filed the tone away. The pauses, the way she said he like an inconvenience. That night, she kissed my cheek like a habit. My daughter slept between us. I stared at the ceiling and listened to my own breathing slow into something colder. Love doesn't vanish overnight. It gets replaced. I started counting lies, late meetings, deleted messages. A new lawyer for the family trust. My name stopped appearing on documents I used to sign. Even my mother changed. She'd always been sharp, but now there was calculation behind it. Like she'd chosen a side. Not mine. I ran the numbers quietly. Checked ownership records, offshore accounts, shell companies tied to my wife's maiden name. Then the flight invitation came. "A family trip," my wife said. "Just us. Private plane. No manifest. No questions." I smiled, packed light. By then, I already knew. They weren't just erasing me. They were replacing me. The shove came again. Harder. My daughter screamed once before the wind stole it. I wrapped her in my body as we tipped forward, gravity tearing at us. This was the moment they thought they'd won. They didn't know about the vest under my jacket, the one I'd tested myself. They didn't know about the recorder stitched into my sleeve, or the satellite ping triggered the second the door opened mid-flight. They didn't know I'd planned for betrayal long before they planned my death. The sky swallowed us, but we didn't disappear. 6 hours later, when the plane landed, police were waiting. When they opened the cockpit door and saw what I'd left behind, my wife started shrieking. They found the cockpit sealed from the inside. They found my mother's fingerprints on the door handle, fresh, sweaty, panicked. They found the recorder first. My voice filled the cabin. Before anyone spoke. Calm, measured, recorded weeks earlier, layered with dates, wire transfers, legal signatures, flight modifications, and a single quiet sentence repeated twice. If this recording is playing, it means they tried to kill me. My wife collapsed into a seat when the evidence started spilling out. Not tears yet. Shock comes before grief. She kept saying my name like it was a mistake that could be undone. Then they opened the co-pilot's seat. The documents were laid out neatly. DNA results, trust amendments, proof that my daughter wasn't genetically hers. Silence swallowed her scream when she understood. She hadn't just tried to murder me. She'd tried to dispose of evidence, of the child she never carried, the child she helped steal 4 years ago, the child I'd discovered through a test. I never meant to take run only after. I noticed how carefully she avoided doctors, records, questions. My daughter was never part of their future plan. She was leverage until she wasn't. My mother tried to explain. She always does. Words tumbling like excuses could fill the air enough to make it solid again. The police didn't listen. They never do when the story is already finished. I watched everything from a hospital room 3 states away. My daughter slept against my chest, breathing slow. Alive. Real. Mine. I didn't attend the arrest. I didn't need to see the cuffs. Power doesn't require presence. My wife called once, then twice. Then she stopped when her lawyer explained what attempted murder at altitude actually meant. Life sentences don't sound real until they echo. My mother wrote a letter. Pages of justification. Love twisted into entitlement. I didn't open it. Some truths rot when exposed to air. The courts moved faster than they expected. Evidence does that when it's precise. When it's clean. Their empire dissolved quietly. Accounts frozen. Assets seized. The jet sold at auction to someone who'd never know its history. I changed my name. Left the city. Took my daughter somewhere no one knew our past. She asked once why her mother wasn't around. I told her some people love power more than people. She nodded. Children understand more than we think. Sometimes, late at night, I replay the moment the door opened. Not the fear, the clarity. The instant I knew I'd survived them. I don't feel anger anymore. Anger is noisy, messy, temporary. What I feel is distance. They're trapped in rooms without exits, screaming into walls that don't answer. I walk my daughter to school every morning, and that's the only ending that mattered.